Today we're going to learn about probability. So probability is the likelihood that an event will occur. In order to measure probability, you do the number of desired outcomes over the number of total outcomes, making it a fraction or a ratio. So, when we're looking at probability, you can look at it when you're flipping a coin, trying to find out whether you'll get heads or tails. So looking at a coin, there's only two sides to a coin, either heads or tails. So that means that the number of total possible outcomes is 2. And if I wanted to get heads, there's only one side that it will land on in order for me to get heads. So the number of desired is 1. So therefore, in order for me to get heads, the probability is 1 over 2. Now, if I wanted to get tails, I would do the same method. The number of total possible is 2, and the number of desired is still 1 because there's only one side, one time that I could get tails. So, next we're going to look at drawing candy out of a bag using this. In this bag of candy, there are 30 pieces. There are 6 blue, 14 red, and 10 purple. So out of a random draw, what would be the chances that I would get blue? That would be 6 over 6 over 30, since there are a total number of 30 in the bag, which would be 3 over 10, simplified. So what would be the total number if I wanted to reds? There are 14 reds, so that's 14 over 30, which would then equal 7 over 15. So the chances that I would pull a blue would be 3 over 10, and then I would pull a red are 7 over 15. So now what would be the total possible for purple? That would be 10 over 30. Simplify it and divide by 3 on each. That's 1 over 3. Okay. So next we're going to talk about picking items in a series. So what would be that would be like picking either a red or a blue. So having the opportunity to pick one of these two, or picking two blues in a row, or picking either a red, blue, or a purple. Okay, so using the same numbers, we have 14 red, 6 blue, and 10 purple. Using the same thing, desired over possible. If you want to pull a red out of the bag, and then replace it, and then pull a blue out of the bag, what's the probability of that? So if you want to do back-to-back like that, you find the probability of each. So find the probability of pulling a red, and then a blue, and multiply each of those. So 14 over 30 for red, and then 6 over 30 for blue. If you simplify them, 7 over 15 to 2 over 5, multiplying by each of those, so you get 7 over 75. So those are the odds that you will pull a blue and then a red. So what is the probability of pulling a blue or a red on the one draw? In order to do that, you will add the 2 total possible because the number of desired has increased since there's red and blue on this time. So the number desired is 20 over 30, which equals 2 over 3. So you have a 2/3 chance of getting either a red or a blue. So what would the chances be of drawing a red, blue, or purple? So in order, you would add all three of those together for the desired. So that's 30 over 30. You have a 100% chance of pulling a red, blue, or purple. So on the same note, what would be your chances of drawing an orange? There are 0 oranges, so that's the number desired, divided by the total possible, 30. So there's a 0% chance that you'll get an orange. Okay, so now we'll talk about looking back at the candy. If I pulled a red, and then ate the red, and then pulled a blue. So what are the chances of that? If I had 14 reds, so that's still 14 over 30, times taking one out. So if I eat that last one and don't replace it, that means there's one less. So now my total possible has decreased by 1. So there's only 29 possible. And then eating a blue, there were 6. So I would multiply the two of those. So that's 7 over 15. So that's 42 over 435. Those are the chances that I would pull a red and then ate that and then pulled a blue. Okay, so finally, the last thing we're going to talk about is making a tree diagram to see the number of total possibilities and possible outcomes that you can have. A tree diagram is just a visual of that. So if I was looking to flip a coin 3 times, so when you flip a coin, you have either heads or tails. So here's my first flip and my chances. I can either get heads or tails. On my second flip, in order to do a tree diagram, you're going to draw branches just like this for each of them. And for the next flip, this is 1 and this is 2, I can get either heads or tails again. So heads or tails. And then with tails, if that was my first outcome, I could still get a heads or tails on the next one. Then from your third flip, you'll do the same thing, but with each of these. So if you did a heads and then a heads, you could still get a heads or a tails on the next one. Same with here, and with these two. Okay, so when you're looking to make a tree diagram, you'll follow each of these so that you can do all of this, that one, and then this one. So it's easier to draw them out, so if you follow, you do heads, heads, heads. Then you'll do the next one. You'll do the same first big one, same one, second one, and then you'll move to the last third one. So then you have heads, heads, tails. And again on this one, you'll use the same first one, but now you have used all the options for the first heads, for the second flip on heads. So you'll go heads, tails, and then from here, you have 2 options on those. So you'll do heads again, follow it around, do heads, tails, and tails. Again, you'll do the same with each of these. So you'll follow it up, and then over. So you'll have this one, and that one. And you'll have tails, heads, tails, and tails, tails, heads, tails, tails, tails. So tails, heads, heads, tails, heads, tails, 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 heads, tails, tails, tails. Okay, so those are your total possible outcomes. Okay, so if you have any questions, you can refer back to this video or you can ask me any more in class. Thank you.